Bless you.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's hurting, I've been awake all night. I'm still learning how to make things right. I keep making the same mistakes I made yesterday. I keep hurting myself the same way. I've been awake all night. I'm still learning.
Hey, y'all. Hey. Welcome to your mid-week thirst quencher. The unicorns present the nightcap. As you can see, we are missing one of our unicorns. She'll be popping in a little bit later, but until then, you have the dynamic duo. Y'all have the terrible twos, okay? Me and my co-host. I always do that. Go on and introduce yourself, Tokyo Tequila.
Hey guys, Tokyo Tequila here. How are y'all doing today?
You don't have to sound that enthusiastic. Oh my God.
I don't understand. I be sleep. I be tired.
She inspired me right last week with her little silk robe on and her titties out. So I got my little kimono on too. You got one on, right?
Yep.
How many of those do you have?
I just got two. That red one and this one. I might get some more though.
Y'all stay tuned because we are going to come with our own nightcap, nighties, and matching silk robes that we will be wearing. Because honestly, I don't want to wear clothes at the end of a long work day. I want to come be with y'all, but I also don't want to wear clothes. So we are going to talk about quite a few things this evening. You know, on the nightcap, we focus solely on what's going on in social media, the news, and in pop and nerd culture. So the big thing that happened this week for people who are wrestling nerds is unfortunately the death of Razor Ramon. I'm so sad. And unfortunately for celebrities this week, it's been a horrible week. You know, death usually comes in threes. First we had Tracy Braxton that passed away, you know, the sister of Tony Braxton, and Khalees's husband also passed away. Both of them, they died from cancer. Unfortunately, Razor Ramon, he passed away after a really long struggle with substance abuse problems from complications from a hip replacement. So I'm pretty sure no one actually saw that coming, but that's what happened. Tequila, I know you don't really watch wrestling like that, but you know your husband does, correct?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He watches. Child. It's been a million years since I watched wrestling, child. But I do know it's a lot of people out here that end up having substance abuse problems from pain medication when they get surgery or some type of procedure done. They get on these heavy drugs. It's very, very hard to kick it. So I do feel really bad that that's the way he had to go out. It's just sad. Really sad.
Well, the thing about it is his dependency on substances, it didn't actually come from, you know, him getting injured, being a wrestler, and then, you know, he gets on pain meds to cope and develops a substance abuse problem. He actually developed a substance abuse problem because of a trauma. So before he became a wrestler, he was working in like bars and nightclubs, as security. and he got into an altercation one night with a man, and in self-defense, he shot him and killed him. So he even was at one point in time charged with second-degree murder. And even though the charges were dropped, a lot of people can't process and deal with the fact that they took someone's life. And so namely his best friend, Kevin Nash, who was also a wrestler, he actually said that, that's where he really believes that the beginning and root of his substance abuse problem came from. Wow. So that's really sad because he's dealing with that guilt, and you're defending yourself,
Yeah, but I mean, taking a life is actually harder than a lot of people think. People think it's just, oh, they did something to me, so it's over. But some people have a really hard time processing death. I mean, especially if it's at your hands. Like, so PTSD is real. That's a shame. That is a shame.
But the one good thing about it is that he definitely left an impactful legacy in the wrestling community, in the world. Everybody knows who Razor Ramon is. He started wrestling in 1984, and his first name wasn't Razor Ramon. It was Magnum Scott Hall. So that's weird to me. That was like before my time of watching wrestling, but yeah, well, you know what, maybe not. But before he was known, he was Magnum Scott Hall. Then he was called the Diamond Stud, and then he got his big shot when he went to the WWE in 1992 and started off with Vince, and he developed this persona called Razor Ramon, which he kind of patterned after he watched the movie Scarface. So, he channeled his little Al Pacino and everything, and that is how Razor Ramon came to be, and the audiences really took to him. Like, they call him a heel in wrestling. They call him a heel. Hey, Salvador, how are you, darling?
Hello.
Yeah, they call him a heel, but he was like a lovable heel. You know what I mean? Like the person that you love to hate. I hate you, but I'm gonna keep on watching you. You know what I'm saying? So after that, he went on. He battled Macho Man Randy Savage. I think that was like his first big match against someone well known. He was in a tag team with the 1-2-3 Kid. He got his first title in, I want to say, 1993. And my baby, he segued into a feud with Shawn Michaels. Now, for anybody that really, really know me, and not a lot of people know me like that, and probably wouldn't imagine that I watch wrestling at all, I don't watch that bullshit that's on there. That shit is trash. It's garbage. Okay. I don't watch that shit that's on right now. But when I say I used to love me some damn Shawn Michaels, the Heartbreak Kid.
I remember Shawn Michaels. I do remember him.
I know what a hill is. I was telling her what a hill was. She don't know. But yeah, I love Shawn Michaels. So he had his whole feud with Shawn Michaels, and that was ongoing. And then him and Shawn had that big WrestleMania 10 match, the ladder match. And it had been ladder matches before then, but that is one of the really well-known ones that people who are wrestling nerds would remember and would stand out in their minds. So he went on from there and had many more matches. He went against Jeff Jarrett. Him and Shawn had the SummerSlam rematch. But what ended up happening after the SummerSlam rematch he had with Shawn Michaels was that, thank you, Salvador. You a little bit late, darling, though. I'm sorry. So after that, he felt like he had hit a ceiling, and that was really bad for him. He felt like he couldn't get to be a world champion, and he went to Vince McMahon and was like, listen, why won't you give me the shot that I really need? You know what I mean? Everybody knows Vince is an asshole. Everybody knows that Vince is a dickhead. So he got fed up with him, reached out to Eric Bishop, and then that's when he ended up starting out with WCW. So WCW at the time, Eric Bishop was their Vince McMahon. He was trying to poach any and everybody that he could from WWE. So he went over there, Kevin Nash went over there, and then they ended up becoming the Outsiders. I want to say that's what, yeah, the Outsiders. And then they had the Bash at the Beach match. And Hulk, that was very much a big thing because that's when Hulk Hogan came out, and then they formed the New World Order. And I'm sure you've seen Tyree and them or whatever going around pretending to be NWO. Everyone knows NWO. I feel like if you don't watch wrestling, you know who NWO is. They're iconic. They made you want to watch wrestling. They made you want to be a dickhead. Like, he also, I want to say that people don't understand that he also was responsible for a lot of other people's personas. So, like, for example, Sting. Sting's a little famous. He had that crow situation going on. You know, he was the mastermind behind developing that persona for Sting. So it went beyond, like, he was very good with character development, and it's sad because he probably could have been a much bigger name in the industry had he been able to control his substance abuse issues. And after all these successes, and NWO finally, you know, starts getting them the recognition that he needs, that's when the drug problem started to spiral out of control, you know, and Vince wasn't around to keep him in line. By 1998, they had removed him from TV, and yeah, WCW was completely done with him by 2000. You know, he was in and out of rehabs. He was on this infamous plane coming from England where they was on there cutting up and ate them goddamn fool. That eventually led to him being fired. After that, after that is that just classic tale of you get a break, you mess it up, you know, that type of situation. So I feel, for me, I feel is really bad because you don't want to see your favorite character go out like that. He was one of my favorite characters. Yeah. See, I should have told Tyree sit in her spot for a minute real quick so we could talk.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Salvador, that was my messenger going off because people are ignorant and they be trying to sabotage your show. I'm trying to give y'all my full attention, okay? Anyway, the worst part of it is that eventually he did get clean.
Okay.
You know, he got the hip surgery, and the complications are what took him out. In 2014, he was inducted to the Hall of Fame. So at least he did achieve that before he passed. You know, all his hard work wasn't in vain.
Right.
It's just, you know.
It's hard out here, man. Even for the people that we think got everything, you just don't know. You don't know what's going on in their life. You don't know how bad it is at home, what they've been through. So at least he did leave his mark, and he had fans like y'all.
I feel like a lot of wrestlers are troubled though.
They are. It do seem like that to me, and a lot of them have substance abuse problems, and you know, was it steroid problems and anger issues? It's a lot. That's a shame.
Well, I mean, it's a demanding type of sport, but all sports are a demanding type of sports. Salvador, is you stalking me on every channel? It's all demanding type of sport, you know what I mean? Especially like I compare it to people like in the Olympics, you know, they're always stressed out. Look at everyone that was going through all that stress, all that trauma. Like what was the girl's name? Osaka? I can't remember her name.
Yeah, I think her name was Osaka. They all,
yeah. Everyone was going through something mentally. I think especially after COVID, but typically being, I would never aspire to be an athlete in any capacity at all, you know, or as they call wrestling, sports entertainment. And the stuff that's going on now is trash and garbage. And the only thing I like about wrestling now is that there is more of a space carved out for female wrestlers.
Okay,
you know, it's not just selling the sex appeal, even though this has not gone away, but is more of an opportunity for them to showcase their actual talents, you know, versus just being a little 5 minutes. Oh, let's give the ladies their wrestling match. All right, let's get them out the way. And everybody wants to see the men.
I used to like China. Ain't that her name?
Yes. Oh, you talk about somebody with problems. China had so many problems. China had when she was doing porn and all types of shit. Oh yeah, China got mess.
I wonder how she doing that. She passed, right? Did she pass?
I believe so. I feel like everybody, you know, don't ask me because I'll be like, yep, they did. Everybody did.
You kill everybody else.
But I do think that she did pass. I have to look it up.
She passed, yeah.
But she had a hard life too. She was struggling, same thing with drug problems, doing the porn. You know, I think she really had issues where she didn't really feel like a soft, feminine woman. You know,
she wasn't. She was a nigga. I'm sorry, but like we still loved her. You know what I'm saying? She was a young man. That's okay. I mean, we love them. But I mean, if that was her struggle, I'm sorry.
Everybody got to struggle.
That's why our shows are important. Our show, our mental health segments and stuff is very important because we all got something going on.
We're talking about, speaking of struggles and mental health, we might as well move on over. Listen, we need the extra time to talk about this man.
Child.
Jussie Smollett. Am I saying his name correctly? Jussie Smollett. Smollett. I feel like he's not pronouncing his own name correctly. You know, I want to make it French.
Jussie Smollett.
Juicy.
Child, did he put up a child?
You didn't see the video? Hi.
No.
I hope I'm saying your name right. King of my world. I'm gonna just call you King of my world. Hi, King of my world. How are you? You didn't watch the video when they sentenced him.
No, I did not.
Okay, so just for a real quick overview, even though I'm pretty sure that everyone knows about the case and everyone knows what he did, you know, Jussie. First thing that happened was that he came out he received this letter and the people were threatening him and threatening his life. Okay. And I suppose that did not get him the reaction that he was anticipating. So he proceeds to stage with two Nigerians, the Asiendo brothers, that he's going to be going to Subway at 2:00 in the morning in Chicago. Okay. He decided that he needed him a $5 footlong. Okay. He sure did. I would watch that show too.
Yeah, it would be so good though.
Would it be good? Would it be good? I don't know about that. So he goes to the Subway 2 a.m. in the morning, and he says, "Oh, while I was in the about to get my $5 footlong, okay." These men in MAGA hats, and they said it's MAGA country, and they put a noose around my neck and they beat me up and they poured an unknown substance onto my body. Okay. End up, the whole shit was a fucking hoax. It was a lie. Crazy. He had the Nigerians, one of them who he was sleeping with, that was really giving him the $5 footlong. Okay. You know, they confessed. He planned it. We acted it out. It was all staged. It wasn't true. And
I was so disappointed.
He is a fuckboy. He is a fuckboy because he will not admit that he did it. Even though you cannot deny it.
You can't admit it either. He's definitely a fuckboy. He'll go to his grave before he say, you know what, I did it, I fucked up. You know what I'm saying? But I find it hilarious that he is really sticking to this. Like, I am very disappointed in him. I was with him. Like, why would they do that to my boo, Jussie? Why would they do that? I liked him on Empire. That was bad. Okay. And they gonna come up here and abuse him. This is my thought pattern. They came and abused him. I love him.
I do remember when I originally first saw it. Like, I was at work and I was in the lower level of the building, and they had the big TV, screen TV, and I'm like, oh my God, they beat up Jussie. They beat up Jussie.
I was the same way. Like,
so he's trying to say that it was racially motivated, as well as people being homophobic. Mm-hmm. So not only that, you wrapped it around causes. Your lies. You wrapped it around.
He already knew it was a lie. It was too cold to be racist in Chicago. Not as too cold to be racist.
I'm not going for no $5 foot long. So he got sentenced, okay? And Tequila, you didn't see the sentencing. Mm-hmm. He gets sentenced, and he waits until they say, okay, he gets 150 days in Cook County. All right. He's going to Cook County prison. That don't even sound good to me. That sound like somebody.
I heard that somewhere. Cook County. I feel like that ain't good.
It sounds like they're gonna be sticking something in my butt. Okay. Like somebody gonna leave a honey bun on my bunk bed. You know what I'm saying?
To lure me in.
To lure me in. A cup of noodles. And next thing I know, I'm your bitch. Because I just wanted a honey bun. You know what I'm saying? That's what I feel like. He has 30 months felony probation. Okay. Even though he is allowed to travel for work, and he is allowed to live outside of Illinois, he has to pay a $25,000 fine, the max, and he has to pay restitution of $120,000, over $120,000.
Damn. Where you supposed to get that from? He ain't got no job.
I guess he gonna be in there. Listen. Get your people put some money on my restitution.
Oh, Jussie. I'm sad. I mean, he obviously got mental health issues. Like, what was he trying to do here? Like, you just wanted sympathy, you wanted more fans, you wanted, what is this for? Like, I don't get it.
So, you know me. When I see people being crazy, I want to know why they doing crazy shit. And it's this psychologist that I follow, and whenever it's like shit like this in the news, he likes to not diagnose them, but let's discuss what it could be. Okay. And he happens to believe that he is something called a victim narcissist.
Okay.
So,
okay.
Anybody that, well, you guys haven't, but y'all need to start watching the Sunday show where we talk about the mental health stuff, because I'm telling you, you will start realizing that you are surrounded by crazy people. Like, there are more people with mental health issues around you than there are people who are just typical and sound of mind. So most people know what narcissistic personality disorder is, people that are grandiose and think so highly of themselves and entitled and all that shit like that, right? But there are subtypes of it. So you can have, if you just bring it down to two, you have your typical grandiose, and then you have a vulnerable narcissist. So a grandiose one is the most of the ones that you see on TV, right? Mm-hmm. Salvador, do you know you crazy? Because I feel like you might be a little bit, allegedly. But the typical grandiose, they're resistant to criticism, they're dominant, confident, bold. That's grandiose. A vulnerable narcissist, they still think I'm the shit, and y'all should treat me like I'm the shit. And I don't know why everybody doesn't know that I'm the shit, but they have shame. They're resentful, insecure. They're hypersensitive to criticism. They internalize their anger, and they need people to admire them. So I happen to think that Jussie falls underneath their vulnerable.
Mm-hmm.
But there's a subcategory called a victim narcissist where he just doesn't want people to admire him. He wants them to admire him for being a victim, for his victimhood. Like, oh, well, it's me. Look at what I've been through. I'm a martyr for the cause for LGBTQ people. And this is why you should uphold me and uplift me and treat me special, and I shouldn't be held accountable for my actions. So now, not only have I been a victim because these people whooped my ass, allegedly.
Right.
And now I'm a victim because I am being crucified by the justice system because they're homophobic and they're racist. And I said, you know what, doctor? I think you wanted something. Because otherwise it doesn't make sense.
Because I could, and it doesn't, because I couldn't figure out why. Like, I definitely, it had to be like a personality disorder thing. I just couldn't figure out, because it didn't feel like, it felt narcissistic, but not in the right way. So if that's true, like the victim narcissist, it makes sense. You know what I mean? Like,
everybody want to call me,
but
everybody want to call me.
I don't know. Like, I get it, but like, you already was getting fame. You know what I'm saying? Like, you already was, so you had your narcissism had to come from a specific source, a specific thing, or it doesn't work. It doesn't feel right.
Right. Mm-hmm. If it doesn't come from victimhood,
That's very interesting.
But I think maybe the fame from the show
caused
his narcissism and made it worse. So he, like, his family not gonna dime him out, but he probably has been. It's people like this, and I think about that. You ever had a friend or a family member like they was always complaining, like that shit would happen to them? Why does bad things always happen to me? Oh, I'm sick, and then I got the gout, and I broke my pinky toe, and my man left me, and my dog died, and my kids don't call me. Like one of those type of people, like they always complaining and bitching, and something is always happening to me. I've known people like that.
Yeah,
I know people like that. And so typically in everyday life, you encounter people like this and you really don't, all right, you just a bitching ass, complaining ass, miserable ass person.
Right. We just, we minimalize it. It's just like, this bitch don't got nothing ever good for them. Like, I know some people like that too. They I mean, every day they will come like at my job or something, or come to me and be like, oh my God, my life, my son. It'd be so, and I mean, I fell for it before, just because it was like, wow, because I felt, being empathetic and stuff. I fell for that. Like, oh my God, why do stuff keep happening to you? I don't know. Like, bitch, we got to figure this out, Do you
see Salvador acting up in the chat? What are you talking about? Because they don't drink water. What does that have to do with anything? You know what, sir? I'm curious. I'm curious about you because you cutting up.
He said he a Pisces, so he might be on to something.
Salvador not the one that made that Ian Frank comment, is he? I'm trying to remember who that was.
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about it because I don't want to get our shit shut down. I don't want to talk about it, but I got to go back and look at the episode and see if that was him cutting up in the chat that day.
It might have been.
But, no, yeah, like it makes sense to me because I definitely have known people like that, and like I said, the fame probably fed his ego, and he wanted more and more and more and more to feed it. But I blame his family. Like y'all being real quiet. Y'all being real quiet. Tell him to sit the fuck down somewhere.
And they probably did. Why would he listen? He ain't gonna listen to them. He gonna be like, all right, I ain't even. He probably telling them like, no, I'm telling you. He probably refused to break character, bitch. He's in there like, I didn't do it.
I'm gonna send you the video because you have to see this. So he after the judge sentenced him, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's like takes down his mask and I respect you, judge. I respect this, but I did not do this. And if I was to have done this, that means I am putting my fist in the African American community's face and in the face of the LGBTQ community. And yes, exactly.
He looked his eye. He got crazy eyes too, though. I look at his
Yeah,
eyes. He's crazy. He got
yeah,
crazy.
and he's like, if anything happens to me, you know, while I'm in custody, I am not suicidal. I am not suicidal again. So that's narcissism right there.
Yeah. Mm.
Some crazy people do know they crazy though.
Yeah.
Because who are you? He thinks that he is he think he Martin Luther King. Why they not? They ain't finna try to kill you for what? Of all the black people in the world, didn't the nigga say he was getting sandwiches at 3? Yes, 2 a.m. He was getting his $5 foot long. You came in late. Yes.
First of all, you are, and also you're like famous. Like you can tell nobody to go get that for you real quick. Like, like
let me tell y'all motherfuckers something. If y'all saw my Uber Eats and my DoorDash bill, you would think that I live in a luxury apartment instead of this 4-bedroom shack, a house that I'm in. I will Uber Eats Rita's water ice to my house, okay? That's how deep it is. So you mean to tell me that he couldn't get himself a $5 foot long at 2 a.m.? I don't believe it. I don't believe it.
Yeah. You know, I feel bad for Jussie, but you know, hopefully he can get some mental health while he in there, a little psychiatric help or something, while he in there serving them 100 and so days. And
well,
you know, maybe they should put a GoFundMe for him for his
I will beat you up. I will beat you up.
I got a career, so shit. He
I wouldn't give him 5 cents. I wouldn't give him the $5 for the $5 foot long. Like I wouldn't. Not at all.
Oh.
Like you keep playing in everybody's face, and you keep talking. Like you heard somebody yell out in the courtroom. They was like, "Stop talking about Black lives." You was playing in everybody's goddamn face. No, absolutely not. The messed up part is that him going to jail is probably not going to help him at all. If he really sincerely is like a victim narcissist, it's just going to feed into his victim mentality. Oh, see, now look at what they're doing to me. I'm a martyr. You know what I mean? Where they probably should have just took him to the psychiatric hospital and dropped his ass off there. Because he's just like,
and I wonder why they didn't do like court ordered psychiatric help or something. They should have did that too. That's something they should have added to that sentence. Like, look, you getting 100-some days in jail, restitution, all that, but you need mental health. So I'm court ordering that you go at least for 30 days to figure out your diagnosis or something. Shit.
Well, number one, they want to make an example out of him. Number two,
this is a dumb example though. This is a dumb example.
When do they care about people's mental health, especially Black people?
Yeah.
They don't give a damn about their mental health. Like, not at all.
Yeah, that's bad.
You want to put them in a padded room? I've never actually seen a padded room, but I suppose that they do exist. And Taraji P. Henson then lost her mind. So if y'all don't know, y'all should know who Taraji is, but she played Cookie on Empire with him. She talk about she compared him to Emmett Till.
What? So she still believe him. She's feeding into this. She like they tried to get him. Y'all crucifying him. Child. Oh, you know what? You got to
compare him to Cookie. You done lost your goddamn mind. Like
he didn't even get beat up that bad. Like he didn't even get dragged. Like nothing happened. Like what?
No, because it's fake. Of course.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like even if it was real, like he didn't get beat up that bad. Yeah. And he ain't whistling a white woman. Like what, child?
Yeah, I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed. And he has canceled himself. If you believe in cancel culture, some people don't. But he's canceled himself, and I cannot understand who would give him a opportunity after this. Who's going to hire him?
And it's crazy because it's not even his.
Cookie
Like, this
crazy,
lady-
Salvador. Cookie's crazy. We don't love
That's so
her.
crazy. Like, you messed up your own life. You know what I'm saying? You messed up your own opportunity. Like, you was chilling. Like, ugh, stupid.
But
Now you can't get no more acting jobs. You could have been a good actor. You know what I mean? Could have, child.
he was not a great actor to begin with, and he's also not
I
a great.
liked it, Juicy. I liked it.
He's also not.
I mean,
a
I
great
liked him in Empire. I feel like he had something about him that he could have worked on. Like, he had a serious side that I felt like could have been molded into something pretty good.
No. No. Yeah, the word on the street is that he was sleeping with Lee Daniels. Like, Lee Daniels was the sugar daddy, allegedly. And that's how he got his spot. You know, that's what I had heard. I don't know.
I think he could sing. His voice was good. He could have been a little bit of singing, made a little album.
He sound like Keith Sweat little cousin.
Keith Sweat could sing.
But you know what I'm talking about, that little
Child, he had some talent. It's just he fucked it up himself, child.
So would you watch a reality show? Salvador said give him a reality show. Would you watch it?
I would watch it. Yo, I want him, you know what's crazy? I want him to make it in jail though. I want him in jail, like I'm in here fighting for my life.
Oh man,
okay, every day they feeding me scraps. They throw my food under the door. I want to see it from jail on. Please. You know what? Netflix will give him something. Netflix will give him something.
Wait. I just celebrities in jail.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
That need to be a show. The show.
Yep.
Every
celebrity he can make money. Netflix got to do it. Netflix got to do it.
Yeah, they could do one on R. Kelly. They could do one on R. Kelly.
Yep.
They let Bill out, but they could have did one on Bill.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know what's going on, how the inmates treating them. You know what I mean? How the guards treat them. I
want commentary from the other inmates. I want to be like, this nigga in here tripping every night. He do a show every night. He sing for us. Child, they need to do it. Netflix need to do this, and they can all make their money for their restitution, and they're paying people back and stuff. This will work. We need to put that.
Booty warrior, Salvador.
Oh my God!
I came to see man's butt.
Yo, I need them to be in the same place.
Oh,
absolutely. God. He like him. He gonna like him.
I like you, and I want you.
Yes, I want to see it. We can do this the easy way. We can do it the hard way. I want to see it.
Side note though, and I see, you know, my mind started going places. Can you imagine, like, you in jail, you just wake up and you see like Bill Cosby taking a shit on the toilet in the corner, like. Like, is that Huxtable?
I know, right? Ew.
You over there making a pudding pop?
Oh my God, yo.
All the jokes. Yeah, somebody would have to shake my ass because I'll be in there like R. Kelly every time he went to the bathroom. I'll be singing the P on You song.
They gotta be in there on their asses though. Like, there's no way these niggas gonna be in there for the rest of their lives. Half of them, they gotta be in there dying and just saying crazy shit to them all the time. It gotta be.
Somebody be trying it. You know, somebody be trying it. Oh, you think you fucking funny? Yes. Yes. I ain't got nothing to do but time. I ain't got nothing to do except sit here and think of ways to roast you, the fucking gag, to drag you. Yes. I'm gonna be writing my set the whole year. How long you here for? Every Friday is comedy night.
Yes. That would be, Netflix gotta get that show popping. Like, they have to. That would be
That's a
everything.
good idea. Don't nobody steal our goddamn idea. I know it's probably only like 3 people in the chair or whatever. I don't give a damn. That's 3 opportunities that you could be trying to take away from us. I'm just saying. Don't do it, all right?
Yes.
And so
So
while
good.
we're talking about funny ass shit, the same people are in the news feed all the time. Like, I don't know what's going on right now, but same people. So now we got Pete Davidson. God, that is a sickly looking man.
He looks awful.
Sick.
He needs some
like,
iron.
Casper the fucking friend. Like, if Casper was a person at one point in time, I feel like that's what Casper looked like right before he died. Like,
he needs some stuff. He needs some vitamin D. He needs some iron. There's a lot going on there. That face looked crazy.
Salvador in the chat talking about something they was throwing hot dogs at Bill Cosby. Why hot dogs, Sal? Why hot dogs? Why would it be hot dogs of all things? Aren't they hungry? Don't they need
Jello?
They don't got no hot dogs to spare. Absolutely not.
He do.
Beetlejuice, Casper, they all pale.
Yeah.
But anyway, Pete Davidson is supposed to be the next to travel to the edge of space next week, actually, on the Blue Origin flight. Child, I can't even take it seriously. I can't. So Blue Origin is the rocket company that was founded by Jeff Bezos. I might not be saying it correctly. Don't judge me, okay? The bald-headed rich white man, okay? Bezos is the founder of Amazon, and he is one of the richest people in the world.
He does.
We'll send him some money. For 5 cents a day, you could feed Pete Davidson, okay? He don't need your money. He about to get on a rocket. He's getting on a rocket. All right, so he's going to be a passenger on the company's first flight. Well, not the first flight. I'm sorry. The next flight. And he's going to be amongst 5 other people that will be accompanying him afterwards, okay? So far they have had Richard Branson, William Shatner, who was actually the oldest person in the world to go into space at 90 years old. And I guess he said, I ain't got nothing to fucking lose. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I'll give that to him. I'm not going to judge him. Michael Strahan is a black man. We all know who Michael Strahan is. Black man, I don't be playing around with these white people going to space. No offense, white people. No offense. But it's some things that we need to just sit back and let y'all do. And we observe. We observe for a few years, see how it goes.
And then we correct. I agree with that. I agree with that.
Yes. And then
did they file some type of NDA or something? Why ain't nobody talking about what's going on up there? Like, I want to know.
Number one, I do believe that they probably have them sign some type of NDA.
Yeah.
Number two, he will not publicly disclose how much the ticket is. He won't tell anyone. So you can only imagine, huh?
Something fishy going on. I don't like it. I don't like it.
I can only imagine how much they are paying. And then it's really random ass people.
It is. It don't even make any sense. You're not even in like the same bracket. You know what I'm saying? Like, what is this? You just pick these niggas out of a hat? Like, I don't understand. It's very weird. Very odd. Very odd.
So Sal is saying that there's a conspiracy theory going around that they're sending all famous people to space because in a few years Earth will be inhabitable. I feel like I saw that on a TV show.
Yeah. But famous people for what? They ain't got nothing going on. I see if you like the most like athletes and like geniuses, stuff like that. But Pete Davidson, what? What do you need him for?
William Shatner is 90 years old. He's not gonna make it. So
what do we need them for? I don't understand.
I hear what you're saying about the conspiracy theory, but also is not panning out.
People that make sense. Like,
not unless they're like using them as test dummies. You know what I mean? Lab rats, if you will. If that's the case, then okay. Yeah. But otherwise, I don't really see it. Exactly.
Right. It doesn't make sense.
I was saying the same thing.
But I mean, the lab rats, I guess. But then, if that's the case, why not just send like random people from the neighborhood? Then that would be like more likely for them to be like, oh, we don't even care about y'all. This, you know what I mean? Let's go ahead up there. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird. Something going on.
It's some paperwork. Lord, oh my goodness! Don't be trying to get me canceled. I don't know who is watching it and is in the chat. You trouble. You used to go to detention all the time, Sal, didn't you? I bet you. I bet you. You used to be one of those. You gotta write your name. Right. I will not, smack girls in the ass 100 times in class. You was one of them people. Or now you got the whole class in trouble because you wouldn't stop cutting up in the middle of class. You was one of them people. I could tell already. But I enjoy you being here as well. But I'm also going to talk about you a little bit. So, what would it take you to go to space?
It wouldn't take much. I really would like to go.
You do? Really?
I mean, okay, look. Petrified of heights, though. So getting there would be a struggle for me. Getting there would be like, oh my God, I'm finna die on the way. But like, if I could just like teleport up there, I would go. Space is so decent.
Would you rather go to space? Or would you rather go to the depths of the ocean?
The ocean. They both pretty good. Probably space though, I think.
I think I would want to go to the depths of the ocean. Cause I'm like, imagine the cities that are probably buried underneath and like the sea life and creatures that you haven't seen.
And I feel the same way about space though. Like going into space and going to other planets and it's no way is not some other life in space. Like that is so like I want to see like, creatures with like 5 noses, you know what I'm saying? Or like something crazy or like a star up close, stuff like that. Like I would definitely go to space if it wasn't so far up because I'm scared of heights.
You're gonna be in a rocket.
I know, but
you're not really gonna be able to tell.
I guess it's the takeoff that's gonna kill me. It's gonna be going there straight up. Oh, I'll probably pass out before I get up there.
JD, you ain't never lie about that. You 100%. Because if y'all ever saw that, what's that movie about them getting in the cage for the sharks? And
oh my God,
100 meters, 1,000 meters, shit.
Yeah. And she really just
fell all the way down.
Yep.
All I need is a picture of Lizzo, shea butter, and black soap if I'm going to space.
A picture, black soap.
A picture of Lizzo. That's so fucking weird. Why black soap? Why?
No.
Why black soap? You know what? I'm so done with him.
But y'all let us. Where would y'all do? Would y'all do space or the?
JB already said y'all. He good
in space. Right?
No, he said he's not going to either.
Oh,
he said we crazy. So Salvador probably going to space.
Fuck up other planets. Go there and talk shit about the other creatures.
He gonna be shit. You go to planet and destroy that bitch. That's
he gonna be Rick from Rick and Morty. He's going there fucking up shit drunk.
Cross-mating the species and shit just to see what kind of baby he get.
Right. Ciao.
Nah, yeah, I'm good. Black people do explore things. That is not true.
Yes. We skeptical of other people do it first.
Cautious. Sometimes. We're cautious.
Absolutely.
And I feel like because you know, after you got trapped on a boat and brought to a place where you were enslaved, you need to be cautious before you just be hyped to go somewhere, is what I'm saying, okay? I don't need all of us being put on the rocket ship this time.
This is generational cautiousness. That's what that is. Absolutely right. Mm-hmm.
You see what this fool saying?
Not intergalactic dippy dad, child. Oh.
He auditioning. Who you auditioning for, sir? You auditioning for a spot on the show? I feel like you're real, okay? So we'll be seeing if listen, Kanye might hit that motherfucker off to let that shit explode. That just popped in my head. Pete, you get on that rocket if you want to.
You know what? If you right at the foot of that joint, like, you motherfucker, I'm up. Right at the bottom of that joint, take off, like, bye-bye.
Kanye probably done paid that fucking Bezos off, and that shit is going to explode 10 minutes after it leave the goddamn earth, okay? I don't trust it. When somebody making whole videos threatening my life, I'm going to stay right here. Right here, I'm not doing anything dangerous that could be disguised, okay? Because he totally could kill him, and I don't know what happened to that rocket. I ain't hear nothing to it.
He probably like make sure Pete Davidson is on that rocket, and
he had an offshore account.
Yep,
he transferred the funds. Nobody will be the wiser.
Child.
Yeah. No. And we'll be coming back on the next nightcap like rest in peace. Rest in peace. Devastated. Oh my God.
My condolences to Kim.
Pete gonna come back with some Martian honeys. He is not an attractive. You know what? He might be attractive.
Maybe on Mars.
On Mars, he might be attractive.
He might be.
Yeah, let me reconsider that.
Looking for.
Yeah, that might. You know what? He might be the shit. He might be Denzel to them. I don't fucking know. Idris, Channing Tatum. Yeah, absolutely. And our last bit of business, and we're gonna keep this short because I don't like either of these people. I really don't. But condolences do go out to Tyrese on the passing of his mother. I will give that. His mother passed away this past week, and he took to social media. I'm not quite sure why, to share that R. Kelly, had sent him. Not yet. R. Kelly had sent him a message of condolence on the passing of his mother. And I mean, that was nice. The sentiment was nice. I don't know why he felt like he needed to share that online, knowing that people don't support R. Kelly right now. Or, I mean, don't get me wrong, he has his supporters, but they're crazy and pick-me's. And also probably pedophiles. So why would you bring attention to yourself that way? And he proceeded to get dragged on social media for sharing that. And I'm kind of stuck where y'all shouldn't be dragging this man because he just lost his mother. But also, you didn't know that was going to happen. You didn't know that was going to be a trigger for people, especially since you had, stuck up for R. Kelly in the past, asking people not to judge him and things like that. So, and people don't really care for Tyrese that much anyway.
He also has mental health issues. And all the stuff that these people do on social media and stuff like that, him crying about his daughter and all, he's probably might also be another victim narcissist. He's another one that does stuff like that. Things and get out there and start crying and acting crazy. And they all need therapy and medication and things, because
therapy for everyone.
For everyone. Mandatory, because there's something wrong with him. He ain't nobody talk about him in a while. So now he like, all right, well, I lost my mom, and look who reached out to me for condolences. Like, what? Why did you didn't have to do that? You didn't, not when anybody tell you anything. Nobody's be like, oh, yo, she just contacted me and gave me her condolences. Nobody does that. You take the condolences, you say thank you, I appreciate you. you don't just go on social media about, oh yeah, look, these are listening to people that said something to me. Like, that's weird.
It's 100% weird. It doesn't make any sense. It very much was attention seeking, but it wasn't. I don't know what type of attention you wanted. Did you want it to be negative? If that's the case, then hey, mission accomplished. But if you thought that you, oh my goodness, well, if you thought that you were going to get some kind of positivity from it, absolutely not. Absolutely.
I don't really see what type of positivity will come from it, period. From it, even if it wasn't the biggest pedophile in the industry right now. Well, I'm gonna say the biggest.
No.
I'm gonna say the biggest. But even if it wasn't from him, what is people going to say? You want everybody to kind of like, oh, that was so nice, or something, instead of like, you already getting sympathy for the passing of your mother. Just take that, put that in your narcissistic heart, and say people are really being nice. This doesn't make sense to me. You
can't get any kind of attention if you don't post it online.
It wasn't enough.
So I think you definitely have a point about that victim narcissist thing, man.
Yeah,
he hit the nail on the head with that one, because some people want any type of attention they can get, even if it's negative. Like they do not care. In some regards, it seems like they want it to be negative.
Right.
That's a little bit, yeah. That's
the kind of stuff like childish things too. Some like children do stuff like that. You know what I mean? They want attention in any type of way, and the best way to get it, the easiest way to get it is to do something negative. It's kind of easier to attain. I think that's why a lot of people do go towards it. You can do anything and people be like, what? You know, and try to defend themselves, stuff like that. It's a little harder to do something. You got to do too much to get the positive reinforcement. You know what I mean? It's like, I got to spend $1 million and give this away and do all this great stuff that's really not in you. You know what I mean? So I rather do bad stuff and get a little bit of something. Like, but I don't know. It could have been anybody else. Like, I don't understand why. I guess he knew he was gonna get a lot of attention for that.
Secretly, he likes R. Kelly, and he probably doesn't think he deserves to be in jail. That's what answer you got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to figure. I wonder if like a lot of people that have narcissistic personality disorder, do a lot of them agree with R. Kelly? Like, do they see themselves in these things? Like, when other narcissists do stuff that's out of, like, to us, the typical person, be like, oh my God, this is awful and crazy. Do they always sympathize with them? I'm gonna look that up. I want to figure that out, because it kind of, I know if it's not exactly the same, they don't get it. But if it's like, oh, I also like children, and I also like children, there's nothing wrong with him. You know, like, I get why he feels that.
They empathize with each other 100%. Yes. Yes. And that's a show. That's a topic for a Sunday show to get into that. So speaking of which, we have come to the closing parts of the show. It went by fast because these people are crazy. It's just a bunch of crazy people running amok in the social media streets. And Salvador running amok in the chat. Okay.
Absolutely.
As usual, you know that we do our full Sunday show where we talk about mental health, and we have our sex segment, Inside the Box, that Tequila spearheads, where she traumatizes you with things you didn't know about penises and vaginas. No, I'm joking. It's a little bit more to it than that, but definitely it's not your run-of-the-mill sex show, you know, where they talk about the same old boring stuff. No. You want to be on the top, you want to be on the bottom, do you suck dick? No. We get into it, and I promise you ain't never finna be bored. So make sure you look for that 7 p.m. on Sunday. We're going to do mental health first, and then shenanigans and debauchery. Also, make sure y'all stick around. HNIC is coming up shortly after us for their full show that they do on Wednesday. Y'all want to make sure that y'all go ahead and y'all go to Head Nurse in Charge's website. Go ahead and support the Kickstarter. We got HNIC Con coming up Juneteenth weekend. Support the con for content creators and for the culture. All right. We are going to be there. Bitch Kittens, who you going to get to know, is going to be there. You definitely want to come out and support the little people like us, so that the big people one day, and maybe we'll let Salvador come on and run amok or something like that. Until then, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for quenching your thirst. And join us on Sunday for an education, a laugh, and always a heavy, heavy pour. If you smoke, bring that too.
Bye.
My head's hurting. I've been awake all night. I'm still learning how to make things right. I keep making the same mistakes I made yesterday. I keep burning myself all the same.